The 10 shocking archaeological discoveries recently made in Italy that stunned the world. Italy, a country rich in history and culture, not only boasts of the great achievements of Western civilization, but also serves as a site for countless groundbreaking archaeological discoveries. Ancient monuments, masterpieces of art, and mysteries surrounding cultures that have existed for thousands of years are gradually being revealed through excavations. Over the years, scientists and archaeologists have persistently searched for and uncovered surprising historical evidence, ranging from rare dinosaur fossils to exquisite artifacts from long-extinct cultures. Below are the 10 most shocking archaeological discoveries recently made in Italy, opening up untold stories about this region's mysterious past. Let's explore what they are right now. A 2,000-year-old tomb with unprecedented secrets. In 2023, archaeologists made a groundbreaking discovery during an excavation in Giugliano in Campania, northwest of Naples, Italy. They unearthed a 2,000-year-old tomb. Upon entering the tomb, the research team made an unprecedented finding. Inside a room, there were well-preserved frescoes on the ceiling and walls. The most notable fresco depicted Cerberus, the three-headed dog from Greek mythology, also known as the Hound of Hades. This terrifying, fierce creature was tasked with guarding the gates of the underworld. The fresco also illustrated the final moments of Cerberus, when it was captured by Heracles. This was the last of the 12 labors of the demigod Heracles in Greek mythology. Based on these details, experts have referred to the tomb as the Tomb of Cerberus. Inside the tomb, they also found several artifacts, such as an altar and a wine jar. Particularly surprising and exciting for the research team was the discovery of a mummified body, positioned lying on its back and wrapped in a burial shroud. Surrounding it were various burial goods. Further tests by specialists confirmed that the mummified body belonged to a human. They speculate that this person may be connected to Cerberus. However, this remains a theory, as there is no concrete evidence to support it yet. To accurately decipher the identity of the individual buried in the tomb of Cerberus, experts will need to conduct more in-depth research and examine the artifacts found in the tomb. Only then might there be a chance of unraveling the mysteries behind it. The 300-year-old mummy, found on the Alps. On September 19, 1991, while searching for a path across the Ötztal Alps, two German mountaineers discovered a perfectly preserved mummy encased in ice, later named Ötzi the Iceman. This is considered the oldest known mummy in Europe. The controversial examination of the mummy was later conducted at Hauslabjoch, located on the border between Austria and Italy. Scientists have proposed a range of theories about the age of the mummy at the time of death, the cause of death, and his health condition. But the most important question remains: what was he doing on the snow-covered peaks of the Alps? Several theories have been put forward regarding Ötzi's death, including suicide, murder, or ritual sacrifice. However, to this day, the life and identity of this mummy remain a mystery. Also known as the Tyrolean Iceman, Ötzi was 45 years old at the time of his death. He was equipped with several tools, such as a stone axe, an unfinished bow and arrows, a leather quiver for arrows, and a backpack frame made of pine and yew wood. At that time, scientists determined that many of Ötzi's tools had been used thousands of years before. Numerous studies have been conducted on Ötzi's remains, and archaeologists believe that he may have lived during the transitional period between the Bronze Age and the Stone Age in Central Europe more than 5,000 years ago. However, carbon dating of Ötzi's tissue samples suggests that his death likely occurred around 3200 BCE. Interestingly, while many questions remain unanswered, the so-called Curse of the Iceman has become a terrifying obsession for many. Since Ötzi's discovery, at least 7 people who had no direct involvement with accidents, but who had worked on the Iceman's remains, have died from rare and fatal diseases. The first victim was Dr. Rainer Henn, a member of the research team. In 1992, he died in a car crash while on his way to a seminar about the Iceman. His car collided with another vehicle, and he died instantly. Authorities could not determine the cause of the accident. Next, mountaineer Kurt Fritz, who had escorted Dr. Henn to the site of the discovery, was buried in a snowstorm. Filmmaker Rainer Holzel, who was the first to publicly announce Ötzi's existence to the world, was the third unfortunate victim. He suffered from a mysterious illness for several months and died shortly after his documentary about the Iceman was released. Following that, Helmut Simon, the man who discovered the mummy, was also buried in a snowstorm just after receiving $50,000 for his discovery of Ötzi. Even more bizarrely, the person who found Helmut Simon's body died just a few hours after attending his funeral. In 2005, Ötzi expert Konrad Spindler passed away under unclear circumstances. Finally, the curse appeared to strike Dr. Tom Loy, who had analyzed blood samples from the clothing and weapons found near the Iceman. He passed away before completing a book on the mummy. The series of mysterious and sudden deaths of archaeologists and researchers connected to Ötzi has fueled the belief in a deadly curse. However, to this day, science has not been able to provide any answers to the mystery surrounding this so-called curse. The 1,500-year-old vampire skeleton. Archaeologists from the University of Arizona recently announced the discovery of a child's skeleton in Italy, dating back to the 5th century BCE. The child's remains were buried with a stone placed in its mouth. This is believed to be a form of prevention to stop a vampire from rising and harming the living, a practice from the Roman era. The skeleton was uncovered at a unique site known as the Baby Cemetery, located in Umbria, central Italy. This burial ground is believed to have been used specifically for young victims of malaria in the region around 450 BCE. Evidence from excavations at this site has revealed the remains of over 50 infants, presumed to be toddlers or fetuses. Many of the skeletons found were buried with Roman burial items, such as claws, toad bones, urns full of ash, and even the ritualistic burial of puppies alongside their owners. David Soren, an anthropology professor who has spent many years researching this cemetery, explained that the Romans often employed various methods of protection, including witchcraft and magic, to prevent evil from reanimating after death. However, the discovery of a stone deliberately placed in the mouth of one particular skeleton shocked the scientific community. This practice is reminiscent of vampire prevention rituals that were common in Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries, a time when vampire legends were widespread. The skeleton is believed to belong to a child around 10 years old, lying on its side and buried deeply. DNA analysis has not yet been performed, so the child's sex and the exact cause of death remain unknown. However, based on initial observations of the teeth and skull, scientists speculate that the child may have been a victim of malaria around 1,500 years ago. The reason for the stone being placed in the child's mouth remains unexplained. While the exact origins of vampire legends are not well documented, many experts believe that such myths date back at least 4,000 years, originating with the Assyrians and Babylonians in the ancient Mesopotamian region. In modern times, vampire myths have appeared in various cultures, particularly in Europe. As mentioned earlier, during the 17th and 18th centuries, people in northern Poland were known for a peculiar burial custom, seemingly designed to prevent the dead from rising if they were suspected of being vampires. Typically, a brick would be placed in the mouth, a stone placed on the chest, and the feet would be nailed down to prevent the corpse from reanimating and harming the living. Of course, this remains only a hypothesis, and the true reason for this practice is still a mystery that researchers have yet to solve. A 2,000-year-old ritual chariot. Archaeologists have recently discovered a four-wheeled ritual chariot at a villa near Pompeii, the famous ancient city in southern Italy. According to an announcement from the Pompeii Archaeological Park, this is a highly significant find that opens new opportunities for understanding the rituals and customs of ancient society. The chariot, made of iron, copper, and tin, is adorned with intricate wooden decorations. Remarkably, it has remained well preserved after nearly 2,000 years, buried under volcanic ash. Massimo Ossana, director of the Pompeii Archaeological Park, stated, "This chariot was likely used in festivals and parades by the people of Pompeii during the Roman period. As a result, this discovery not only helps us better understand the religious rituals and culture of the ancient Romans, but also contributes to expanding our knowledge of the villas in Pompeii." The chariot was found in a villa in the northern part of Pompeii in the Civita Juliana area, where archaeologists continue to excavate and uncover valuable artifacts. Interestingly, the chariot is decorated with red and black wooden panels, while the villa's ceiling is made of English oak, a material commonly used in Roman architecture. This serves as a clear testament to the wealth and civilization of the Pompeian residents in the past. Besides its immense historical value, this discovery has sparked new interest in tourism and research. Italy's Minister of Culture, Dario Franceschini, believes that Pompeii will continue to surprise us as excavations progress. Experts hope that such discoveries will help preserve archaeological heritage and provide more valuable insights into the lives of ancient peoples. With its remnants from the volcanic eruption nearly 2,000 years ago, Pompeii remains one of the most captivating archaeological sites in the world. The entire world is following these new discoveries, which help shed light on unfinished stories from the past. Of course, this is not the only discovery. Read on, and you might be surprised by what comes next. A slave room from ancient Rome. Also in the ancient city of Pompeii, Italy, archaeologists have reported the discovery of an exceptionally well-preserved room used by the slaves of Pompeii during the Roman era. Specifically, while excavating a villa buried in the rubble of the 79 CE volcanic eruption, they uncovered a room that served both as a living space and a storage area. This discovery provides a rare and insightful glimpse into the daily lives of slaves during this period. The room is illuminated by a small window above and appears to have no decorative features on the walls. Archaeologists say that the room was used as a sleeping area for a group of slaves, possibly a small family, since a child-sized bed was found, along with 8 storage jars placed in the corners of the room. We can imagine that the servants or slaves worked in this area and slept here at night. Gabriel Zuchtriegel, the director of the Pompeii Archaeological Park, said that this discovery offers a window into the precarious reality of those who rarely appear in historical records. For this reason, their history remains largely invisible in the grand narrative of history. Massimo Ossana, the director of Italy's museums, added that research on this room will yield even richer results through ongoing analysis, allowing researchers to uncover new and fascinating details about the living conditions and lives of slaves in Pompeii and the broader Roman world. This is the latest discovery in the ancient city of Pompeii, Italy. Earlier, in late 2020, the remains of 2 men who attempted to escape the eruption of Mount Vesuvius were also discovered in Civita Giuliana, on the outskirts of Pompeii. Archaeologists believe one of the remains belonged to a wealthy landowner from Pompeii, aged between 30 and 40. The other may have been his slave, aged between 18 and 23. Though it is somewhat sorrowful to reflect on the past, these discoveries have nonetheless enriched our understanding of Pompeii and provided a more detailed view of the lives of people who have long been obscured in the shadows of history. Woman's remains clutching treasure. In August 2024, Gabriel Zuchtriegel, the director of the Pompeii Archaeological Park, and his colleagues discovered 2 sets of remains during an excavation in Regio 9, the ruins of the ancient city of Pompeii, Italy. These were the remains of a man and a woman. According to experts, the woman's remains were found on a bed in a fetal position. She was estimated to have been between 35 and 45 years old at the time of death. The man's remains were found under a collapsed wall in the rubble. He was around 20 years old when he died. The room where the 2 sets of remains were found is referred to by the research team as Area 33. After conducting tests and analysis, the experts noted that the room was not affected by volcanic pumice. Therefore, they speculate that the 2 individuals may have sought refuge in this room when the catastrophic disaster struck Pompeii nearly 2,000 years ago. However, since the adjacent room was filled with pumice, the 2 were likely trapped. Based on the several centimeters of ash covering the floor, scientists suggest that they may have perished from the fast-moving pyroclastic flow, a stream of volcanic debris and hot gases. The research team deduced that this event caused the wall to collapse, killing the man. Meanwhile, the middle-aged woman may have lived a bit longer. She was lying on the bed, slowly sinking into eternal sleep. Notably, surrounding the woman's remains were numerous gold, silver, and bronze coins, along with some jewelry. Among the jewelry, experts particularly noted a pair of gold and pearl earrings, a type known as crotalia, named after the sound made when the pearls clink together. Additionally, there was a pendant in the shape of a protective amulet meant to safeguard during childbirth. From these findings, the research team concluded that the woman was clutching treasure as she tried to escape when the disaster struck, yet ultimately could not avoid death. Well-preserved Roman mosaic floor. Archaeologists in northern Italy have made an exceptional discovery, unearthing a stunning and nearly intact mosaic floor dating back to the Roman era. The find took place in the town of Negrar, located north of Verona, Italy, in the mountainous region. where the ancient floor had been buried under a vineyard. Remarkably, this discovery occurred nearly a century after the remains of an ancient Roman villa were found in the same area, marking a significant advancement in archaeological research. The photograph of the ancient floor, which was released by local officials, shows intricate and detailed patterns that have retained their vibrancy and color after more than 2,000 years. This is a testament to the skill of the Romans and their remarkable mosaic techniques in architecture. Previously, archaeologists had worked tirelessly for many decades to uncover the remaining parts of this structure and better understand its location and the expansion of the ancient villa. Despite years of effort, it wasn't until recently that experts were able to find a portion of the floor and the villa's foundation. Archaeologists are now continuing their studies to determine the exact location and further explore the scope of this ancient structure, with the goal of gaining a deeper understanding of Roman life, architecture, and culture. Additionally, local officials announced that they will work to open the site for public viewing, though they also noted that this process will face many challenges and will require time to complete. This event is part of an effort to restore Italy's ancient landmarks after a prolonged hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Prior to this, another famous site, the House of Lovers in Pompeii, reopened after 40 years, marking a significant milestone in the country's efforts to restore its historical heritage. The $1 million ancient treasure found beneath theater. In 2018, archaeologists discovered an ancient treasure estimated to be worth $1 million at the ruins of an ancient theater in northern Italy. The treasure consisted of ancient coins from the late Roman Empire, hidden in a stone jar and buried beneath the basement of the Cresconi Theater in Como, near Milan. While the full historical and cultural significance of this find is not yet fully understood, archaeologists have expressed excitement and pride in this discovery, considering it a true treasure for the field of archaeology. According to the Ministry of Heritage and Cultural Activities of Italy, when the jar of coins was found, it was immediately transferred to the Maybach Restoration Department in Milan for further research and restoration. Although there is no official information yet on the precise value of the treasure, local reports suggest that it could be worth millions of dollars. Authorities also mentioned that the area is becoming an archaeological hotspot, as the Cresconi Theater, built in 1807, was once a cultural venue before being converted into a cinema and closing in 1997. Notably, the area where the treasure was found is not far from Novum Comum, where other important Roman artifacts have also been discovered. This find is considered one of the most significant discoveries of Roman coins in recent years. In 2016, archaeologists unearthed a rare gold Roman coin in Jerusalem, dating back over 2,000 years, featuring Emperor Nero's likeness. That same year, experts in Okinawa, Japan, discovered 10 ancient Roman and Ottoman coins at a temple site. These discoveries further highlight the importance of ancient artifacts in understanding the history and culture of ancient civilizations. 2,000-year-old treasure containing gold and gemstones. At the end of 2024, archaeologists in Italy unveiled a series of remarkable finds in the town of San Casciano dei Bagni, famous for its ancient hot springs. Among the artifacts uncovered were bronze statues, gold coins, gemstone jewelry, and most notably, intact eggs from the Roman and Etruscan periods. These discoveries not only shed light on ancient cultures, but also demonstrate the significance of the area in religious and healing practices of the time. The artifacts were excavated from a depth of nearly 16 feet beneath the ground in San Casciano, a town located on a hill about 100 miles north of Rome. The excavation, which began in 2019, has attracted the attention of the international archaeological community. This site was once home to a sacred temple connected to the hot springs, used by the Etruscans and Romans as a healing center. Ancient people would throw votive offerings into the waters, and these items are now being restored. In the latest excavation, archaeologists discovered thousands of coins, crowns, gold rings, gemstones, and numerous bronze statues of both men and women. One particularly striking find was a nearly 3-foot-long snake statue, which experts believe may represent Agathos Daimon, the snake god in Greek mythology, considered the protector of hot springs. This statue is the largest of its kind ever found, surpassing smaller examples currently on display at the British Museum and the National Archaeological Museum of Naples. The San Casciano discovery not only clarifies the spiritual life of the Etruscans and Romans, but also reaffirms the importance of hot springs in ancient culture and religion. With these unique artifacts, San Casciano is becoming a new highlight in the global archaeological map, promising to attract attention and research for years to come. Fossils of a dinosaur. Herd found. While dinosaur remains have been discovered in Italy since the 1990s, a recent discovery at Villaggio del Pescatore, an ancient limestone quarry near the port city of Trieste, Italy, has shaken the scientific community. Paleontologists have identified traces of an entire herd of dinosaurs, including the species Tethyschodros insularis, which lived about 80 million years ago. These creatures could reach lengths of up to 16.5 feet and are an important part of our understanding of the prehistoric era. Professor Federico Fonti, the lead researcher from the University of Bologna, shared that this discovery is extremely rare in Italy. Previously, scientists had only found a few isolated fossils, but this time, the remains of an entire dinosaur herd have been clearly identified. Additionally, the skeleton of Antonio, a dinosaur first discovered in 1996, has now been determined to be a juvenile from the same herd, which also included 11 other dinosaurs. One of the remaining skeletons has been named Bruno. The Villaggio del Pescatore site, first dubbed the Dinosaur Graveyard of Italy in 1996, not only contains dinosaur fossils, but also the remains of various other species, including fish, crocodiles, flying reptiles, and small shrimp. This area, 80 million years ago, was part of the ancient Mediterranean era, where dinosaurs lived in a tropical, warm, and humid environment, ideal for feeding. Professor Fonti explained that this discovery offers valuable insights into the habitats of ancient creatures and the processes of their extinction. Fossils from this site are currently displayed at the Natural History Museum of Trieste, providing a fantastic opportunity for the public to access valuable archaeological and paleontological collections. Furthermore, in January, a footprint believed to belong to a prehistoric reptile was discovered in the Alps, further enriching the ongoing discoveries of ancient animals in Italy. As you can see, these archaeological discoveries not only shed more light on various aspects of Italy's ancient history and culture, but also open new doors for the study of humanity's past. From ancient ruins to valuable fossils and artifacts, each discovery enriches our understanding of civilizations that once existed. Italy continues to be an archaeological treasure trove, promising to bring many exciting surprises for researchers in the future. What about you? What do you think of the discoveries mentioned above? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. For now, goodbye and see you next time.